But I won't guarantee it. Okay? I have no idea. And because we have train, we're going to be kind of on a schedule, you know, because we want to make sure you guys catch your train. And this is my last day, and I don't want it to be a day where I miss something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And where are you from?
I am from California, but I live in Wyoming.
That's my home. And you come here 18 years.
So you're just
So
going back
does-
home. You're not quitting this. It's just, I guess, the end of the season.
It's the end of the season, and you never know what's going to happen between now and April. You never know. But just keep my options. But I do like it. So it's my second season, so something's going well.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not leaving you. I'm just going around like I'm a proper person.
Would anybody like some gum?
I got my hugs from my girls in the depot. I am going to wear a headset so I don't have to scream. I've already lost my voice once this year. Don't need to have it happen today. The plan would be to have lunch in Carcross.
Yay!
But we'll see if we do. Those puppies, they have a place there to eat, and I really don't know what that means exactly. Like I said, it'd be a first for me.
And you go to Carcross to get the maple syrup if they still have it.
Obviously, Matthew has been here before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Klondike Gold Rush, the National Historic Park Museum right there on the left with the green trim. And then the other building is the Visitor Center. That's the one on the corner that used to be the old train depot back during the Gold Rush days. So we're gonna cruise through Skagway. First visit for everyone other than Matthew?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Liquor store? We don't have as many saloons as we used to. Back in the day we had 80. Now we've only got about 8, if
And when there
that.
was 80 saloons, how many people were in town?
Oh, about 30,000. Mostly Stampeders. The blue building over here on the left, the Klondike Gold Rush National Historic Park that says Alaska Geographic thingy with the 2 portholes, that was Martin Itchen's home. Martin Itchen is the founder of tourism. You were talking or mentioning, or pointing, I think it was, the Yellow Bus. That is the Skagway Streetcar Company. He started that business in the early 1930s. So you can thank Martin Itchen for bringing itching. Yeah, like you're itching. I know it's weird, huh? But you can thank him for all of this tourism. So without him, it wouldn't have been possible, I don't think. The Red Onion Saloon. I can't guarantee wildlife, even though bear is on the menu, but we could certainly have plenty of it when you go to the Red Onion Saloon. Where were you guys yesterday?
Juneau.
In Juneau. So did you do the Red Dog Saloon?
Yeah.
No.
This is much better. I've never been to the Red Dog, but I'm in Skagway, so I'm gonna say that, right?
The bear was up the pole at the table we were sitting at.
Nice. The real
Sawdust
bear,
on the
right?
floor.
I looked up and I was like, okay.
Doing a pole dance?
Yeah.
The Arctic Brotherhood building here on your left, I would recommend you take a photo of that because this afternoon, I think we've got about 7,000 people in town today. So you will not have it with, you will not have it with anybody, or you will not have it plain like this. You'll have other people in it, yeah. And if you're like me, you're not gonna want that. Better hurry. Bus is coming. Bus. Hopefully he's taking it. There we go. Shoo. Speaking of bus, there's the Skagway Streetcar Company bus. They have buses and they have those yellow things. Yeah. The yellow ones stay in town. So. Arctic Brotherhood. Warren G. Harding back in the 1920s was here, the president. He's the only one that's been to Skagway. So he's a member of that Arctic Brotherhood right there. It's also Skagway's Visitor Center. Y'all can read that. But back in 2004, they removed all of those pieces of driftwood. put 60% back up of the original. So some of those pieces are over 100 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you tell which ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
The wooden
Those three. The what?
The wooden ones?
Yeah, the three little things that are on that right to the right of that gal right there. She just
Yeah.
walked in front of me. I bet you those are new.
The real,
No, I have no idea.
the really gnarly ones?
Yeah, the really lighter ones.
ones
I
with the
have
oldest
no
one, yeah.
idea. I'm going to invite you to look at some of these buildings as we're going by. You'll see on the doors some of the plaques that Dyea River was a confectionery back in 1899. So just if you get a chance to walk around town, you can stop at the visitor center and get a walking map, and they'll point out some of the buildings and stuff. But the ones that have the plaques, you're actually in a National Historic Park. Skagway is a historic park. And these buildings were put together by the Park Service, which is out of Seattle. So you can thank them for reenacting or recreating Skagway during the gold rush days.
And if you are walking around town, make sure to get fry bread over here. It's excellent.
Fried bread?
Yeah.
Here, you want this?
No.
So the building over here on our left, the Golden North Hotel, you can see that it's pretty darn big. Take a look at that golden dome up there at the top. I'll ask you to find that here a little bit later. But the Golden North Hotel, you can see how big it is. It used to be just a hotel, strictly. Now it's apartments and offices and whatnot. But you can see the size of the darn building. Some of the buildings here were moved a couple of blocks from our left over to here when the railroad was put in on Broadway back in 1898. So what they did is they moved these buildings by horse to the main drag, which was Broadway. Like I said, the railroad was coming in. All the action was down here, so you're not going to do much good if you don't have people around your shops. So they brought them over here onto Broadway. Now, back in the day, these shops were false fronted. So what that means is they were a one-story building, but they made it look like it was 2 stories. So it was a false front, or a facade, if you will. Take a look to your right. I bet you she's going to go straight, isn't she? Take a look to your right. You'll see that Kermsey's clock right there. Yeah, give her some room. That was for advertisement here in Skagway. So the jeweler, which is just up the way on the next block, they wanted to advertise. There's actually more advertisement up there as well, but the trees are in the way for those other ones. But that was a form of advertisement. When you came off your ship, you saw the all of the graffiti that some people call it on the hillside there. That talks about the ship captains, and the ship captains were, if they liked him, they put the name where it was visible. If they didn't like the ship captain, they put him elsewhere where you couldn't see him. It was only if they liked you. And that was the crew. Not the passengers, but the crew. We do have a lot of jewelry stores in town. There's 42 of them. And you have jewelry shops on your ship. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
So it used to be 80 liquor stores, now it's 40 jewelries.
yeah, exactly.
Pick your addictions.
Yeah, yeah. This is the Kermsey's Curios. These are the guys that did the clock face up there on the hillside.
We're right, this black and white building.
Yeah, this black and white one right here. Yep. Yep. Now, if you want to shop locally, I recommend that little shop right there, a little local art shop. Wonderful girls that own that shop. They're sisters. And there's 3 other ones over here on the left. And so I will invite you, if you're going to do any shopping, to look for the Made in Skagway sign, that black and white one, and also the blue and white one, which is Made in Alaska. Like I said, there's lots of jewelry stores, but there's just a few handmade or local shops in Skagway. So keep that in mind. We'd appreciate it. The Social House, $18.99. Bites on Broadway now. Now, Wells Fargo Bank and the Post Office. This is our financial district, and the Wells Fargo Bank does have an ATM for those that need the ATM. So yeah, we have, as you can see, the end of season sale, so they're wrapping up, trying to unload their gear. And, so there will be lots of things going on. The McCabe College, or it used to be the McCabe College over there on our right. It's now our City Hall and the Skagway Museum. And has anybody got the Harley in the garage? Because if you do, there's a t-shirt company there for, you know, and it's funny, it says Chilkoot on the t-shirts. But that, I think it says Skagway too, but I was just kind of surprised that it would say Chilkoot in big letters as opposed to Skagway in big letters. Library off to our left on that next block, Wi-Fi. So that was downtown Broadway. So this afternoon, for those of you that are going to be riding back with me, I will be more than happy to drop you off there or take you back to the ship, whatever. And then those that are taking the train, I'll pick you up here, over here on our right. I'll pick you up about 5:10 or whenever the train comes in, I'll be there. And then again, I can take you downtown or I can take you back to the ship. But street right up here. Pointed out the train might still be there. I don't know what time it is. Nope, he's gone. But the train would be right here, so this is where I'll pick you up, in this area up against the trees over there. Okay, we are in the residential area. So Skagway has 1,000 residents. Now 2020's next year, of course. The census is going to be out again next year, of course. So this time next year or early part of April, May, whenever they get the final tally in, that number could be different, but I won't know that until that time. But 1,000 this year and about 800 that stay in the winter time. Most people, they live here really all year long, but they go out for a little bit just to get some vitamin D. We don't get a lot of sun here during the winter time. Actually, this place is darker than Haines. Haines is on the other side of the Lynn Canal, which is where y'all came in from, and it is only 15 miles away. On the ferry it's about an hour, but they have a whole lot more daylight because they're not socked in with these mountains. So there is a difference. This is our clinic. We do not have a hospital. We have nurses, full-time nurses, and then we also bring in some extra nurses. And the reason we do that is because we have a lot of seasonal employees, me being one, the bookie being one, and that gentleman over there, Jake, who is the station master for the train, he's one. So they bring in some extra nurses just to kind of help with the influx of people that come through town for the summer.
What happens if y'all have a real bad accident? Like?
So if you have a real bad accident, you're air flighted out, it'll cost you $25,000 to $50,000. Unless you have flight insurance. And most people that live here, they do have that. They are prepared. Same way with our food. It comes in via barge and it comes in Monday night. And on Tuesday, they start unloading the containers at the businesses. And if the weather's bad, then we don't get our supplies. So, you know, and again, the residents are well aware of everything. When they live in Skagway, they need to be aware of that stuff. So they are prepared. I slowed down only because the RV park to our left, I was talking about the seasonal employees that come in town. The employers find housing. Now housing's at a premium around here, trust me, and it's real hard for the employers, if they don't already have it, to find housing. But they provide it for all their employees. Some at a cost, others they get to live rent-free, which is, I get to do that, Kathy gets to do that, so we're pretty fortunate in that regard. Sometimes The folks that don't get that free rent, it's not as if they pay a lot. It's maybe $300 a month, but you know, it still dips into your income and all of that. So we're real grateful that we have the employer that will provide it for us. And I have a couple of dogs and a cat, and they're all welcome too, so it works out perfectly. I need to adjust my I can't find my happy medium. Dave was in the bus yesterday, so he's messed me up. This is You Say Tomato, I Say Tomato. It is our health food store. So we have 3 grocery stores, 2 gas stations, chickens. Did anybody look down that block? You want to see some wildlife? Should we go look at them? Got chickens on the street.
Chicken's fresh.
Yeah, somebody's gonna put that on the Skagway swap. Chickens are loose again. That's what they do. They talk about bears, they talk about anything.
I think the
Skagway,
bears
so.
don't know.
Well, hopefully that bear, those 2 bears that they saw in town really early and late last night are gone. Let's see where those chickens went. They were walking across the street. Oh, where'd those little stinkers go?
Why did they cross the road?
Ha, because they can. Ha. I don't know where those little chickens went.
I work in a grocery store, and so anytime somebody comes through with chicken and eggs, I ask them which came first, the chicken or the egg. And it's whichever one I scan first that on that order, so.
Yeah. So you can actually answer that question.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
You get, I don't know, the egg.
It's a very philosophical question.
So up here on the right is the White Pass and the Yukon Route train yard. That's where all the Thunderbirds and the train cars and stuff get their little TLC whenever they need it. And also further past that is the Gold Rush Cemetery. You guys on the train this afternoon will get to stop, or not stop, but get to go by there. For us that are on the bus all day, if you want, we can stop by there this afternoon, but it's about a quarter mile down the road. Skagway River, we're coming over that here. It's a little quiet. We haven't had a lot of rain the last day and a half, so before that it was really ugly and pretty full. Let's run out to the Pacific Ocean now. 7 acres over here. I don't know what in the world they're doing, but they're doing something. We have softball tournaments in the summertime. We have soccer. All kinds of activities happen during the summer. A lot of people from Whitehorse, Canada, or Yukon Territory come down and play in the softball tournament. The Jewel Gardens off to our left. That is a really beautiful garden, so if anybody was to come back to Skagway and not want to take the train, not want to take a tour, there's plenty of things to do in here, and the Jewel Gardens is a great thing to do. Beautiful garden. They do farm to table, so they raise stuff in their flower beds and their garden and whatnot, and glass blowing. They have a couple of glass blowing studios, so you can blow your own ornament. It's pretty fun. Something to do next time. Lazy Days Farms. I don't know if she's going to be open anymore, but she's got a lot of produce going on, so I hope so. Pretty sure she's not done. So we're going to make a detour. We're going to go up here to our left. And this is going to be going up the Dyea Road. D-Y-E-A, pronounced Dyea. So it's Dyea. Anybody wants help in how to pronounce that? Up this way on Dyea Road, it would take you all the way up to the Chilkoot Trail, which was one of the 2 trails that were used when folks came through here in 1897 for the gold rush. The Klondike Gold Rush. 600 miles away. But this was the start. So the Chilkoot and the White Pass were 2 trails from this area at least 33 miles or 45, depending on which trail you took, and then another 550 miles from there on the water to the Klondike River. But we're gonna go up here, we're gonna go to the overlook. It's a beautiful morning. Might be a little breezy up here, but there's no rain. There's no fog. I mean, you can at least see town, so that'll be great. Hopefully they're just passing through. We've got a lot of apples on the ground, and that's never a good thing. There is a restroom right here, but I wasn't fibbing. It is not a flushable toilet, but it is a restroom. Here we go.
So paranoid about them because they're killing all the trees.
Oh.
That if you find one on your car, you're supposed to take it off and kill it.
Yeah.
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 So when I saw the woolly bear, I'm like, I don't think he wants to go for a ride.
No, he does not. And I don't kill him. I move him. Get him out
Yeah,
of the way.
well, the lanternflies were told to kill them.
Yeah. People don't like these guys because they think they're killing the trees, but they're eating the leaves, and the leaves are falling off anyway.
Right.
So what's the deal? And I've read that they are not harmful, so whatever.
Whatever.
They tell you if it's going to be an early spring.
They say, whoever they are, two things. Here in Skagway, we've got a mountain ash tree, and it's the one that's it's got a lot of those little red berries on them, clumps of berries, and then the woolly bears, and they say that they're in abundance this year, so that means it's going to be a cold winter. But the almanac is saying that too, so both things. So it's chilly. I don't remember last year how chilly it was, but yeah. Is that what they're saying everywhere? I think, right? Great. I just know that in Wyoming it's cold,
75 to
so colder there than it was in Skagway last winter.
Camera.
Say again?
It's a rock camera, UPSC.
DSLR.
Yep.
So you're going to see if the clouds lift up some snow on the peaks. Got some snow the night before last.
Nice.
And it's been cold. No, it's not nice because I'm driving out of here on tomorrow.
So you're driving home?
Yep, and I really don't want to have to deal with too much snow, so we'll see what happens. But they're high, and I know I have a few peaks to go over, but not those. But anyway, so not supposed to be a lot of snow, just cold this winter here in Skagway.
What's cold in Skagway?
Well, the average temperature is 23 degrees, but the wind chill factor can drop that down considerably. It does get pretty windy here. When the people leave, I was talking about 1,000 people resident and then in the wintertime it drops down to about 800 or so. They usually leave January, February, because those are the colder months. They don't get a lot of snow here though. I was talking to a resident, and he said they get 6 to 12 inches of
So
snow
it's worse
throughout
in
the
Minnesota
season.
then.
Huh?
It's worse in Minnesota then.
Oh yeah, it's worse in Wyoming too. So
Worse in Montreal.
we get a lot more snow. Yeah.
Pennsylvania's nice though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like 500 miles south of Montreal. It's a world different
Oh,
winter-wise.
interesting. Not very far away, and it's that different though, right? Did you say Montreal is snowy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cold.
Huh. Well, lucky you.
Just do the jet stream. The jet stream
Yeah.
fluctuates right around there. So if you're south, it's warm. If you're north, it's cold.
We get Chinook winds where I live, so it always changes the temperature. Alright, so this is the South Klondike Highway, and this is part of the White Pass Trail. We get up here a little bit further, we're going to be following some of it, and then the train, which you guys will be on this afternoon, follows it even more so. So you get an opportunity to see the trail in 98, is what they called it. But anyway, so this road right here, it is 110 miles, and it goes all the way to Whitehorse, Yukon Territory, Canada. We're not going to go that far. We're only going to go 66 miles, but it goes all the way up, and it was completed in 1978. Now, the road has been here for a while, but with the paving and all of that, it was in 1970 as the finished product. Fortunately, there's no potholes anymore. It was all built on permafrost, so what they would have to do is they'd have to set fires to it to thaw certain sections of it out so they could start digging. So as we're driving through here, we'll get a few little whoop-de-doos going as we're on the pavement. I try and avoid as many of those as I can, but every once in a while we're going to have a little whoop-de-doo. And this highway is what we're going to be taking all the way up to Emerald Lake.
Woohoo!
Emerald Lake is beautiful. So cross our fingers that we're going to have a lovely day. And I don't talk through the whole tour, just so you know. You'll be grateful, and it seems funny because as soon as I say that, I start talking again. Some things just pop right into my brain at certain times, and I just, wow. Up here on the right and on the left, it's going to be called Black Lakes. It was one lake back during, before the road was put in, I should say. And once the road got put in, obviously they had to backfill it and created the two separate lakes over here. But this is what the Stampeders would go through. They'd also go through off to the right through the gorge, which is where the Skagway River is. Just part of the whole big White Pass Trail. That's a pretty nice little spot right there. Mirror image. Best part of it is they're driving by it. Stop and try to take a picture. It doesn't give you quite what you're looking for. Let's see. The Denver Glacier will be over here on our right, and it depends on the cloud. Depends on if we can see it. What do we got? Oh, we got a little bit of it. Looks like a shelf way back in there. You see that mountain that's got the new snow on it? That wasn't there yesterday. Or if it was, I didn't see it. Just to the left of it, as the mountain's going down, you'll see just a little shelf, and that is actually the Denver Glacier. So with the Denver Glacier, it recedes into the Mendenhall 90 miles away. Hello, little bird. Big old raven. Skagway River is below us. The train tracks you'll see here in a minute. The White Pass and the Yukon route, which is what you guys will be doing this afternoon. You're going down, so it'll be a lot quicker than going up. It's a 3.9% grade for that narrow gauge track, and they get to chugging pretty slow sometimes as they go up that 3,000 foot in elevation.
Last time we rode that train, we went up, so this time we're going down.
Oh yeah, so you know what it was. So you took the train last time too,
Yeah.
the first time you were
Well, that's a good endorsement. I like this so much, I'm doing it the second time.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know, it is. You have to do it to appreciate it.
Exactly.
Because I can talk about it and you can read about it, but if you don't get on it, you'll just not really get the full-on vibe of it. There's the railroad tracks. There's the Bracket Toll Road just a little bit below the railroad tracks, and then the Skagway River and the White Pass Trail. And the river is not flowing too much, but you can
He'll tell you he doesn't read signs, but when you go to a museum, he reads every
everything.
Someone worked hard making this.
Somebody does.
I was 53 years old before I stepped in my first museum.
Really?
Yeah. Which one was it?
It was the one in New York.
Met?
Yes.
Wow. That's a good
And,
start. That's good.
And I was like a little, she said I was like a little 10-year-old kid going through there. But
Get in the
it
candy
was,
store.
golly, it was amazing.
Like after that, all of us supposed to be like that. We're just not.
Yeah, that's a tough one that wants to live up to.
Yeah, yeah.
So because we've got some folks taking the train today, we're gonna stop at some places that we wouldn't stop at in the morning, but we want everybody to have an opportunity to see the to get photographs of some of the things that the train people will not get to see. So we're gonna make a few more stops this morning than we normally do.
It's alright.
I want everybody to be satisfied.
Thanks for not like
Here comes a little whoop-de-doo, but I'm going to go off to the left of the road, or my lane anyway. It's a nice one right there.
first 2 days of the cruise,
Yeah.
and then that morning we woke up, we wasn't moving, and I told her, I said, well, we've either died or we've run aground. What do you do?
That one night, I thought we were going to roll in bed.
I did too.
At
Yeah,
one point, you were
woke me
going
up.
left to right, top to bottom, and I'm like,
I feel for people that get motion sickness because, oh boy.
So did you guys know each other on the ship?
No.
Well, you will now. I mean, just because you've seen each other now, you're probably going to see each other all the time. And you probably already did and didn't know it.
Probably, yeah.
are
Yeah.
you on the Holland or what?
The Bliss, everybody's on the Bliss.
Okay.
Now this is the U.S. Customs here, and we're going to be in the U.S. for another 8 miles.
Wow, they get to Canada fast.
And there's no room up on the U.S.-Canada border for buildings of any kind. So respectively, this one's down here 8 miles from the border, and the Canadian Customs is 6 miles from.
So this 6 mile stretch is kind of the U.S. Canadian version of North and South Korea, it's the DMZ.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's where Trump and Trudeau meet.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
We did Niagara Falls back in May.
Yeah.
Did you do it on the Toronto side?
Yeah, everybody knows to go point to them. Because that way you can look at it instead of looking down there. So we, of course, you got to go with custom up there. It's such a big old place, I'm sure you're going to. But, the guy was asking this question, and he said, have you got any cannabis or any kind of
The pipeline has water going down it from the Goat Lake, which is up at the very top of that waterfall. And Goat Lake provides the water that goes down that hydroelectric pipe, 2,800 feet, and then from there it goes down into a generator to Skagway, and then also over to Haines. Oh, and there's more new snow. Yay.
You're not driving up there, you'll be fine.
You can actually hike up to Goat Lake along that waterfall. I was going to do it this year, but I went for a hike a couple of days before that. Dog hurt his foot. So we'll have to do it next year. What's that?
Must be a lot of switchbacks.
On this train? Oh,
Yeah, no, on the hike up that waterfall.
Oh no, straight up. Nope. Straight up. Just go up the pipeline. They maintain it, so kind of got a little trail up there. How's the temperature back there? It's a little cool. You guys good back there? So this is the White Pass Trail. This is the 45-mile trail that took the Stampeders up to the town of Bennett, up in the Yukon Territory. It met up with the Chilkoot Trail up there. This one was the gradual trail of 3,000 feet as opposed to the Chilkoot, which was more of a straight up climb once you got up to the scales and to the Golden Stairs. 1,500 steps were chiseled into the ice, and that's how you made it up to the summit. The Canadian government required anybody that was going to go to the gold fields in the Klondike River outside of Dawson City that they had to have 1 ton of provisions, and that was all provisions. That was food, clothing, equipment, everything. Without it, you couldn't go. So a lot of folks opted to go this trail once it opened up because you could take a pack animal all the way up the 45 miles over to Bennett, and they did. And unfortunately, they nicknamed this Dead Horse Gulch because a lot of horses perished along this route. And it was also called White Pass City. Folks put a city up here of a bunch of tents and whatnot to kind of give the Stampeders a little break from being on the trail. So you can see the train track over there to the right. You can see some cuts in the mountain anyway. And then it's going to go off to the right behind it, and then it will switch back. And if you look to that far side to the right, you'll see a cut in the mountainside there, and that's actually the railroad line. You can see a train over there. Yeah, because they had a summit train at 8, 9, 10, and yellow and green Thunderbird over there anywhere. Does anybody see
No,
one?
I haven't seen one. Well, they were rushing them out of the station like they were trying to get them on the train.
The 8 o'clock train, yeah. That was the one out of the summit out of the train depot. But the train that goes up to Fraser was already gone when we drove by, because I was going to point out that that's where I was going to pick you up, or we'll pick you up. And the train was gone.
I don't know.
The sun feels good. Now there's another pull-out up here that we'll do for you guys on the train. You'll get to see the whole waterfall from way over there. There's a up close and personal. It's called the Bridalveil Falls. There it is, right there, Bridalveil Falls. It's drinkable. It's a glacier fed off of the Carmack Glacier. Up above, blue sky up there.
This water's drinkable right here.
Yes, sir.
So what glacier did I just drink?
Carmack.
Carmack.
Was it refreshing?
It was cold.
I bet so.
Oh, that was cool seeing the train. I hadn't seen it at that point before.
Making his way up on that big old switchback over there. So the railroad line started in May of 1898. It was completed in July of 1900, so it took 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, which is a really short time. And they worked in the winter. They worked all year long, of course. And it was a narrow gauge, or is a narrow gauge. 110 miles, it goes all the way to Whitehorse, kind of like the road does. It's no longer used as passenger up to Whitehorse any longer. Car cross is the last. For now. We'll see what happens as time moves on. But Michael J. Heaney was the gentleman who was contracted to build it. And he said, no one else could do it, of course, but he said that you give me enough snooze and explosives and I will build it. Well, 450 tons of dynamite is what he got. He got 35,000 men in total to work, and he built it. It's a 3.9% grade. It's pretty impressive, as you will see when you're on it. And it rivals the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, and the Panama Canal as an engineering feat.
Didn't they lose like 3,000 men?
No, they did. They had 35,000 men that built it, and my understanding is only 35 of them died.
That's shockingly good.
That is incredible.
The shocking part is, well, that as well, but the short time it took them to build it back in those days. And they used the narrow gauge, obviously, for reasons to get around the switchbacks and whatever. It was easier. 3 foot. But yeah, it's pretty impressive that not many lives were lost. It's a single cantilever bridge up ahead, and we're no longer going over that bridge. They built a new one, and so now they're just getting the road all squared away. Have some fun, maybe. Oh, looky, we get to go already. Cold for these poor boys. I'm sure they're getting paid big bucks, though. It's a different boy. We switched them out.
It's stressful.
So the bridge was supposed to have been finished last year, but they didn't get her done. They had some complications, I guess, but they got her done this year. It was kind of odd driving by the single cantilever bridge. It's not old, it's not quite 50 years old yet, but instead of replacing it with one of like kind, they chose to do something different. They built a cement bridge, but somehow they've got some sort of padding or something that will allow it, because this bridge, the single cantilever was is over a suspension, or excuse me, is over a fault line. So obviously when the earth moves, the bridge will move, so we'll see what happens with the new one. I'm a little worried about it, but these guys are professional bridge builders, so
Somebody got paid a lot of money.
hopefully they got her done right. The big old culvert down
Yeah, but
in
what's the
the,
lowest bidder though?
because there's a waterfall over here on the left that goes through that culvert to go down there. So it's a 180-foot drop down to the creek, the William Moore Creek. 110-foot span across. They're doing all of this over here, so I think you're going to be able to park and maybe take pictures, but I want to be able to walk over that bridge and look down below. So I really don't know what they're doing. Getting after it, whatever. It's held on one side, you can see that. And the waterfall will be up here on our left, and that's coming off of the Cleveland Glacier, which it's hard to see now. So there's the waterfall on our left. Take a look to your, we won't be able to pull out over here, but if you look off to your right, you'll see the Sawtooth Mountains. Got it blocked off for us. Normally it'd probably take me a week, but I take my time. I have places to stop. Might get south a little quicker than I would normally though, because of the cold. I'm in a camper motorhome. Good thing I filled up my propane tank. Heat going on. I'll be fine. More worried about, not worried again, but more thinking about the view. It's old, but it's roadworthy for sure. I'm just going to get everything topped off in White Horse, make sure the tires are good.
Drive all the way down from British Columbia, or do you take the
I take the Alcan.
ferry?
No, I drive. Yeah, take the Alcan all the way down to Dawson Creek.
So Juneau is the only place that you have to fly into.
Yeah, Ketchikan and Sitka and those places. Skagway and Haines are the ones that you can drive to. Everything else in Southeast Alaska is airplane. Boat. Some new little waterfall. That's actually not a new waterfall, but you can see it. Summertime. time at the Flover. Guy's got his snow machines coming in town already. He's anticipating.
So cool seeing snow on it.
Yeah, it's quite the surprise. It wasn't there yesterday.
Sorry, I always come in June, so seeing snow is on White House is cool.
So there'll be another photo opportunity up here ahead of us. And it's one of those because trained folks won't get a chance to get it, so we're going to get her done. And we may have some people joining us, so if we do, we'll have to find our line. Elevation 3,300 feet. So how this is going to work, this is the Alaska sign, and we're going to put a line in the dirt, and we'll have you stand on one of those lines. This guy's here first, so we'll find out where he's going to go, and then we'll do the opposite side. And the reason they do it this way is that nobody's in each other's photos. There's lines that are drawn and everybody gets their spot. So be careful, there's a bus behind us. Let's find out. We'll take that left side, it looks like. She was on. Oops. Seatbelt. So just about at the U.S.-Canada border. Right here, U.S.-Canadian border.
Crossing the border right now. Woo!
So there's no like border patrol. They don't check anything.
It's
pretty
6
sure.
miles up
Oh,
the way.
that way.
Yeah.
I know
So
you said 6 and 8.
Yep. So here's International Falls over here on our left. The water flows in both directions, one to the north and one to the south. So that's why they call it, or Boundary Falls is what it's called as well. You can hike that trail. There's a couple of different ways to go up. This beautiful valley right here, I think it's beautiful anyway, is called Tormented Valley. You could probably see why it would be called that. The stampeders that came through here on the White Pass Trail got to handle this. Lucky guys and girls. And Summit Lake down below, we follow that for the 6 miles all the way to, almost all the way to the Canadian border crossing. You see over there to the right, the disrupted dirt. They laid a new track down there for the railroad line, so they dynamited that little area there to make it for the Summit train. So it will make a loop. Instead of having to switch tracks, it'll make a loop.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, so they don't have to wait, because sometimes they had, in the past, they'd have to wait. slowed things down a little bit. Can't run as many trains that way. We'll have to wait.
Well, that train's your money maker, so.
Yeah, train is the money maker. Skagway knows about it, appreciates it, so they do what they can to make it all work. I don't see a train over there though. Ahead of us. We're in a subalpine forest. You see now that we don't have very many big trees. They're pretty small. A little bonsai forest, if you will. Some of these trees are really old, though. They're over 100 years old. You see some that look like little mop heads. They've got a little bit of life to the top of it. And the rest of it's nothing. But the weather is really harsh through here. Walk out there on those rocks if you want. Get some photos done. A few little pathways around. Yeah. Peel out. I mean, you could just stand around and take picture after picture after picture because it's so beautiful. It's so serene and just, you know, pristine. Just everything is just beautiful.
I usually average about a 600 or 700 picture cruise.
I usually average a 2,000 to 3,000 picture cruise.
Now look over here, this is Summit Creek, and you can see it on the left side too, but you can see how clear, and it's at glacier water over here, and then also on the left there. So it's glacier fed. There's a glacier off to our left. Can't see it, but it's off there. And it flows into the Summit Lake, and they actually call it the Lake of Two Colors because this part of the lake, this side, is more of the greenish color. The other side is a darker blue. You don't always get that contrast though, and we didn't get that today, so I didn't stop for that. But sometimes you can really see the difference, so that's why it's got that name. And there's a sandbar that kind of helps that along, because the way the creek goes, it pushes it off to the left of the sandbar, and to the right. Granted, some of it does slip around, but not a lot of it. So the other water is more fresh water, not glacier. And you guys on the train, I don't know how much. I don't think you see much of Summit Lake.
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much.
Not too much, yeah. Yellowish color, or almost looks white, I guess. Had a bite of that lichen the other day.
Tasted.
Oh yeah, tasted like nothing.
Tastes like chicken.
A guy that was with me said the Thompson River down here, and then Lake Bernard off into the distance. The rail line is there. Sometimes we hit the train going across it, but a little off today. Behind the train this morning. We will be getting close, or are getting close, to the Canadian Customs. So, we'll need passports out. They will come on the bus and look at your passport. So, when they get on the bus, have your passport by your face so they can look at both of them at the same time. Just to compare the two to make sure you know who you are.
We were supposed to bring them.
What's that? What?
We were supposed to bring them.
Yes, stop it. I already asked you that. You said yes. Don't be changing your mind now. Otherwise, I'll leave you here. Jimmy.
You'd be in trouble.
I've already got in trouble.
Yeah, he's already gotten in trouble. Right off the bat. I didn't even know him yet.
And a search party.
He was introduced as James, but his wife quickly changed that. And this is where we'll use the restroom. There, real quick.
So you go through the border, then use it.
What's that?
You go through the border, then use it.
Yes, ma'am. That's how that works around here. We've been in Canada for a little while, so.
When we go through the border. And I kind of heard you said you want to be on the right side of the train.
Yes. So that side.
Because
Now I
otherwise
don't
you'll be
know
up
how
against the
busy.
cliff.
I don't know how busy it will be this afternoon, but you can start having your seat to yourself. But if the car gets busy, just double up, okay? Because we want everybody to have opportunity, and
Yeah.
you'll have a chance to, when they say it's time, to stand on the platforms
That's the best views.
of your car. Okay, you won't be able to cross platforms, but you've got two. You got a front and a back on your car, and there's restrooms on there and squared away. Complimentary water. And I'll escort I'll escort you to the car once I know what car you're on.
Oh, they assign the car?
Yep, not seats, just the car. Yeah. And so what will happen is we'll come back here at 3 o'clock-ish. I'll find out, and then when your car is ready, I'll escort you to the car, and then the rest of us will be out.
Oh, the back one.
You know, sometimes Jakey's really good about that, but sometimes he just fits us where he fits us.
That way you have a platform, you get a picture of the train bending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We just use the rest.
Still same.
You know, this is my last day, so be nice.
This is it?
Yeah.
All right. So when do you leave?
Tomorrow. You working tomorrow?
No, I finally get a day off.
Oh, so I won't see you tomorrow, so this is it.
It's a pleasure. Next year?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
It's always a pleasure.
Next year for you?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be here.
How long have you been here now?
Too long. Some would say too long. It's been 6 years.
Has it been?
Where are you from?
Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Yep.
Left the rat race.
How's that,
It's a
little
good
guy,
spot, too.
how's that little guy of yours?
Niagara Falls, well, it's just down the road there. It's crazy.
Yeah?
Running around.
Have fun.
Yeah.
What are you going to do this winter?
Damn man at a
I mean,
dog
besides, going to go
Uh,
anywhere? Do anything fun?
I don't know. I probably could use a vacation sometime in the winter this year. Any suggestions?
Yeah, come to Wyoming.
Caribbean cruise.
Yeah. I've actually never been on a cruise. I was hoping because we help them out so much by moving traffic, they throw some tickets
Yeah,
once in a
right.
while.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, my friend.
I don't think that would go over well anyways.
Oh,
So
well.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have a
I'll
story
see.
for you in
I'll be
spring.
able to check on you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
it.
I'm the one that's got the beautiful dog picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you for sure. I need a new dog too. What kind of
Oh,
dog
you
should I
know
get?
what?
What kind of dog should I get?
Michelle Phillips. You know Michelle
Oh yeah,
Phillips?
she's got a litter, eh?
She's got 5,
Do I want a
6.
husky though?
You know, these are not good. Yeah, these are really wonderful dogs.
Yeah.
Check it out. Call her.
I should go.
You know, messenger. Check her out.
On the way home, I'll just pop it.
I would. I definitely would, because
Like
I've
a
seen.
Bro,
I've seen.
I got enough space for them.
I've seen
If
these
you get
puppies
4, you can
all
drive
summer
more.
long, and
Oh yeah. How
these
old are they now then?
about 4 or 5 months old, and they're
That's perfect.
they're just yeah. Check it out. Check her out. Yeah, tell her I sent you.
They shed a lot too.
No, no, no. These guys don't.
Wow. Give them
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but summertime, you know, just brush them a little bit.
Yeah,
You're all
sure.
right.
Hose them off.
Yeah.
Fire.
Throw them in the lake, for goodness sake. You're right here.
Give them a bath.
You can make a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah. A pair of socks for the kid or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Noted.
All right, well, have a good
Couple
winter.
good notes here today. Have
All
a
right.
nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. I've got them on Facebook. It's interesting that the people you friend on Facebook. That's the most talkative he's been all summer long.
I guess
You
the
gotta
others
get him
will be
started
late
though.
for
But
the
you know
first
what?
time.
In his defense, most of the time it's so busy through here, he just doesn't have time to do that. We don't have time to do that. So today's a special day.
Smell the roses.
Yeah, he's got the cutest little kid. Looks just like him.
Red hair and all.
Yeah, just like him. 6 years. He's the supervisor. Anyway, now we're legal. I mean, you guys have always been, but we're definitely legal now. So we'll stop up here for opportunities. Said I wish the sun would stay out, but it's looking like it's concentrated right in this spot. Back into the forest, which is lovely. I like that. Anybody want a photo of this over here?
Of course.
Sure.
That's a silly question.
I know. But you,
As soon as I touch the handle,
off she goes.
so
Next time I change the battery, I'm gonna have to change the SD card too.
we had a digital film.
Well, I'm gonna time lapse it, so
Spoiled these days, don't have to use real film.
and then I'm like, bring the portable chargers to charge the batteries on the way. I have like 4 batteries for this thing, an extra battery for this one, and a charger if I need it.
Which camera's that one?
Canon G7X. So I do most of my vlogging on this one.
Yep, it's a good one. Yeah, G9. It's similar little small one.
Oh yeah.
So you see where the light is over there, where the light clouds are, the cumulus clouds over there?
Yeah.
That is Atlin, British Columbia. And during the gold rush time, some folks went over there. Tried their hand at some gold in Atlin, but not as big as the Klondike gold rush. So went over there, as I said, put their hands in that, see what they could get, and then they came back over this way and went up to the Klondike. And some of the folks that worked on the rail line actually went over there as well to try their luck at that. Again, came back and finished up the time finishing the railroad. A lot of activity going on. Now the Klondike Gold Rush was the biggest ever, and is always and will always be the biggest rush. There were over 100,000 people that attempted to go up. Less than half of them made it. About a third of them actually found any placer gold, and a handful found a fair amount of gold. And in 1896, Skookum Jim, or Tesh, or Jim Mason, depending on what name you wanted to use for him, he and his brother-in-law George Carmack were the two co-founders of the first gold nugget in 1896.
The glacier was named after Carmack?
Yes. And because George Carmack was a white man, he could stake the claim. Skookum Jim was a First Nation, so he could not. So George Carmack put the number 1 on the tree and went in and staked that claim. But when Skookum Jim died in 1916, he had put a trust fund together over the years, and when he passed, he gave the trust to his First Nation fellows. Because this was all their land back during the day, and with the white settlers coming in, they took it over. Now some of the tribes, First Nation, there's 14 in total, 11 of them have now been given some of their land within the territories back, and so they are self-governing their land. But still the majority of it is the Crown still owns it. The log cabin city over here was also a city like the White Pass city that we passed when we were following the Skagway River. But the train goes off to the left to Bennett, which is where the two trails met, the Chilkoot and the White Pass over in Bennett. That was Lake Lindeman, and Lake Bennett was the largest tent city in the world back in 1897, because when the Stampeders came up and met there, it was the winter time of 1897. So it was considered the largest tent city in the world. They got there in the winter of 1897. So they had to wait, and while they were waiting, it was a perfect opportunity for them to build the vessels that they would need to get them to the Klondike gold fields outside of the Klondike River. Along Bonanza Creek, actually, is where that first gold nugget was found. show in Skagway, and it's really interesting. Narrated real well, and it's just a pretty good job.
The Ken Burns one?
What's that?
The Ken Burns one?
No.
Ken Burns just came out with another one a few days, like less than a month ago. I need to go see.
What was it about?
He just did Nashville one day.
Yeah.
Country music.
So that's the one that I haven't seen
About
yet.
country music?
Yeah.
Just started on PBS.
I don't have a TVs.
I thought the one he did on Vietnam was excellent. His Congress one is excellent.
All the good Civil War, national parks.
So has he done one on the Klondike Gold Rush?
Yeah.
He did? I should probably watch that sometime. You could probably get it on video or something, right? Or DVD?
Yeah, it would be out on DVD.
PBS website right out.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Anybody see anything over there? I didn't.
Well, the river.
So here's the thing. There are two places just in this little stretch. There's a meadow just by the Yukon Bridge, and then this spot. And this is my second season doing this, so I drive this road, not every day, but pretty darn close. And I have two opportunities, one up and one back, as we go up and back the same day, to see stuff in those two meadows. And I've only seen in each of those meadows one time wildlife. One time. Saw a moose in this last one and a bear in the one by the Yukon Bridge. So the odds of seeing something in there are not very good.
It was right about here last year, June, that we saw the bear.
Yeah, June is the time to see bears, not September.
They're not playing well. They need to do quarterback.
What's that?
They're not playing well. She and Ticker actually.
They're not. I whistle for them and they just don't show up. Matthew, did you take the tour with me last year?
Uh-huh.
I thought you did. You said you were here in June.
And I'm coming back next June with some friends too. So hopefully you'll be here. Yeah, I booked this cruise, and my first email off after that was to book it.
You what?
I booked this cruise like a month ago,
Oh, okay.
and then my first email was to book this tour.
Oh, nice. So you talked the book.
Yep. And she said, I recognize this email because I had already booked the excursion for next June.
Right.
And she's like, I thought I recognized the name in the email. So, yeah.
Well, thanks again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites.
Well, this time of year you'll see some colors, and obviously the snow on the peaks.
And I last time I came, I only took stills, and I did a video of using pictures, but I'll do another one using my actual footage this time. That way, people can see what it is and go on it themselves. So.
Right. This is the Two-Shy Lake, so the river flows into this lake right here. Now this is a pretty big lake. It's about 30 miles long. We follow it for about 10 of those, and 600 feet deep, so pretty darn deep. Lake trout and some
Glacier Lake?
no, not really. It's more of a try this spot.
Critic reviews
Okay.
and enjoy them year-round.
Okay.
And a lot of them end up on my Instagram.
And John?
I print some. I turn some into like Ken Burns style videos.
Nice. Nice. I put mine on Facebook and then delete them.
Yeah, but won't just sit there.
I have a Smug Mug account where so I can pull gazillions of pictures.
Smug Mug?
Yeah, it's a photo site where you store your photos.
Oh.
So I have probably close to 8
Oh,
to
yeah.
10,000 pictures online.
Oh, wow. Do you pay for that?
A small fee, but it's unlimited storage. So
Oh, wow. That's pretty
and it makes it easier when I'm posting my reviews online, because then I'm posting image link instead of the actual image.
So it's nice seeing a little bit of the yellow and the oranges. It's not much orange other than that little snippet right over there. I'll even go slow right here for you. That's both motors out. See if we have time this afternoon for that program. Make sure we see everything and do everything. Is it warm enough back there for you guys? So Heather, is this your graduation present? It's kind of odd seeing this snow. I didn't see this last year at this time. So the almanac and those woolly bears and the ash trees must be correct. But I think it's supposed to be sunny on what's today? Thursday, Friday, I think.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. So that snow will be gone if that is the case. So y'all were at the Mendenhall, or some of you anyway, yesterday. Did you see any wildlife on the Mendenhall?
Really rainy and
No.
foggy and
So you hardly even saw the Mendenhall then, huh?
barely, yeah.
Yeah. And where do y'all go tomorrow?
We're at Glacier Bay National Park.
Okay. Well, hopefully that'll be nice. It'll be foggy in.
The chicks was with the captain this morning, so it will probably be nice weather.
Which is good, because the last time I went to Glacier Bay, it was rainy and miserable.
So tomorrow is supposed to be a nice day.
And Ketchikan's supposed to be a nice day the day after. So,
Friday.
yeah.
You know, Ketchikan is the rainiest Southeast Alaska town there is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read they get 15 feet
Yep.
rain a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feet.
Yeah. Yeah. About 100% precipitation. 1,000-mile race or 300-mile race, it doesn't really matter, but the puppies are handled a lot by veterinarians and staff and handlers and all kinds of people, volunteers. So they just want to make sure that they're used to that. That's why we do that. And it's also a way for them to get revenue so that when they do their races and throughout the winter time they have enough money to take care of their kennels, because it's expensive feeding 90 dogs, and that's just a small kennel. Some of these outfits are huge. But it's real popular in Canada and in Alaska. It's sled dog. Not all people run races, they just do it recreationally. And it still costs a lot of money no matter what you do. I only have 2 dogs and it costs me money. So this color is real interesting with this grayness. I don't like it. It's even nicer company. Awesome. Not a lot of reds and oranges and stuff, but who needs that when you got all of this? A couple of bends, we're going around a couple of bends up here. We'll have the Yukon territory sign to take a photo of. Slow over here. I've seen a fuzzy thing over here once in a while. So never know what day it'll show up. Movement over there. Oh, there's a little bus. We might as well do it. Quick. There's probably some mountain goats up there. I see 3 different white spots. They're on my map. Yep. Experience.
She needs to work her advertising. I don't know, that's all about location, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Normally when we see the sled dog puppies, they have punchies and stuff there. But she's always good with that too. Her name's Jacqueline. Somebody's got a banana though. Ask them. Oh, it's an apple? How come it smells like banana? Because I had
He's
a.
got a banana. Somebody has a banana.
Somebody has a banana though, huh?
You're the whole salad.
reading glasses, and I think with my naked eye, things are a lot more vivid than they are with those silly glasses. So if I ever get pulled over, I put my glasses on real quick. I never get pulled over, but if I was, I would. There was a fire over here last year. You can see some of it. Still see some yellow coming through though, so it didn't burn at all. Now, how did you get your stuff off the ship? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They tell you you're not allowed, but
So Kathy followed the rules. You rule breakers, you.
I went right from breakfast out to the ship.
Well, when they didn't check it yesterday, I decided an apple isn't going to hurt. But if I have to throw it away,
That's right, yeah. It's just an apple.
it's just an apple. I got to eat.
Also, when you're in the country, though.
Right? I forgot that.
Yeah, you're transporting agricultural goods across the international border.
Yeah, and you notice when we went into Canada, they didn't ask about any of that stuff.
It's only the U.S. ones coming down.
They will in the U.S. though, but more times than not, they don't check it.
Okay.
Fog it up a little bit in here.
Give me ratings we have. She said it's fogging up. I'm like, give us ratings.
So this is a nice trail over here. If anybody ever wanted to come back and take a nice hike, you can go right through here. You get all of these aspen trees, especially as they fall like this. Oh man, it's just spectacular. And there's actually a goat. I saw him yesterday, and he's over. Where'd he go? I just saw him. Ah. Maybe it was the angle. I just saw him. Oh well. Saw him before he made his turn. He's coming. So that was the Conrad City Mine. There's actually some old buildings left up there. They're not complete buildings any longer, but they're a city of about 300 people that work the mine on that mountain to our left. Pretty big operation. No gold found, or not enough to speak of. No gold in Skagway either. It was all up the Klondike, and then that was only for a couple of years, and then they moved everything up to Nome. All of the, not all of them, I shouldn't say that. Some of the stampeders from Klondike went up to Nome, Alaska, and Circle and Eagle to find gold. So there's always been gold to be found, and even today, this very day, today, they are still finding gold up in around Dawson City along the Klondike. fun having to pull wildlife off the road, trust me. So, I'm going to ask Brian. He goes out to those places. I'm going to ask him. Last day for a lot of drivers. Brian's last day is today. Morgan, his last day is tomorrow.
Were you able to find anything out about the?
No. See, the thing with the puppies up here at the Caribou Crossing, they're geared toward these guys.
Gotcha.
And the big buses. And so they've all been prearranged. So they know that that's where they go every day for lunch. And I don't see any small independents that are not associated with the cruise lines. Because Chilkoot is, and then obviously the big buses. So we could pull in there.
I would rather have a little bit more time in car cross.
And we can pull in there and find out how much. I'll go in and find out the scoop on it and come back and tell y'all about it. But I can't tell you that it wouldn't be a lot of time there just because of the train this afternoon. So, but we can certainly check it out.
Where else do we stop?
We're gonna go all the way to Emerald Lake and then come back into Carcross, and that's usually where we do our lunch. Now, with that said, we don't have a lot of options in Carcross for lunch, but you can be on your own. I think the other place, where the puppies are, I don't know anything about that place. Look at those mushrooms right there. You see those? Do you want to see them? I want to see them. We're going to go. I'm going to pick them.
Don't eat 'em.
We're not going to eat them. We're just going to go. I think they make for an interesting picture. Personally. And we're. Oh, there's the bus coming.
There's no way you're making that viewing. No, okay.
Yeah.
It's a
That's what
two-pointer.
I was like.
It's
no
a
way she
two-pointer.
go back that part.
And these guys are going to say, well, she's looking at something, and I'm just going to say, no, I'm not. I'm doing my own thing. Doing my own thing. I'm just curious. They're slowing down. See, nothing.
You should just do this randomly now. They just describe
Nothing. See what they do? They got their lights on. Nothing. I want to
Fake
see,
them out.
those are mushrooms right there. Those are bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just milking it. Cereal.
Since I'm sitting out here in the middle of the road. So it's these things right here. There's another bus behind me. But what is she looking at? I'm not looking at anything.
Oh, right in front there.
So these guys right here.
Funny look.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Funny look.
And as soon as I open my door, they're gonna know it's not. Oh, maybe I should let y'all out. What do you think?
She's yelling in her micro. Look at these things.
Yeah, that's funny.
They look like they're 6 feet tall in
They
my
do.
picture.
What, on your picture?
Cool looking.
Oh!
They're even more bizarre now. Mutants.
I love how you get the big bus to slow down.
Yeah.
Now, come on, tell me that was worth the stop. Those are I saw them yesterday, and I'm thinking, what in the heck? Just odd. right in the gravel. And I know they're not edible. I'm almost positive that they're not
Or
edible.
should you be eating mushrooms?
But I will take it.
Roadside mushrooms.
I know.
Yeah.
I will take it to the mushroom expert, that's Dave. Let him tell me if those are edible or not, but I'm pretty sure they're not. And yes, that would have been perfect opportunity for the bear to show up. So I have seen them in this area, so that would have been too funny. Did you notice that bus though stopping? What the heck?
What did they see?
But you would think that they'd figure out if I'm getting out of the bus, it's not a bear. Come on, guys.
Well, we didn't say they were the brightest bananas. That was
Well,
fine.
you know, there's that.
Now, what was that gate for down there back there?
Avalanche. And it even says that. It's an avalanche gate. I don't know if you noticed some of the signs for avalanche along the highway as we were coming up this way.
I did.
So occasionally there will be an avalanche, but not too often anymore. Well, thanks for humoring me, you guys, with that. I appreciate it. I will bet you there isn't another tour guide that would do that. Just this one right here.
And the fact that we all got off the bus, and
That-
we were taking pictures too.
Yeah.
That's what little Sandy Elk would do.
You know, whatever just strikes my fancy, boy. If you're with me, you're stuck. No apologizing for that. That's just the way it's gonna be.
Stop that now.
They're caffeinated.
I went to Starbucks right when I got up.
You know, we used to have across from this train station in one of the jewelry stores. There was a Starbucks last year, but for some reason they pulled out. I don't know why.
Well, we
Which
have a
is-
Starbucks at our shift.
Yeah, well, which is okay with me because I'm not Starbucks. So this town of Carcross is up here. Does anyone need to use the restroom? Okay. So I think I think the best thing for us would be, are you hungry as well? Or you just want to use this as a restroom break and then go up to Emerald Lake and figure out about what we're going to do about the
We
public.
leave it to your judgment.
My judgment?
You're the expert.
Yeah.
Is there a bathroom at Emerald Lake?
No.
But isn't there one at the desert?
What about something curry?
So we'll go up here to Carcross and just use the restroom, and then we'll go up to Emerald Lake, okay? Because the weather's looking pretty nice right now, and I don't want to jeopardize that for us. Because Emerald Lake, it's not fun looking at it when it's raining. So we'll go do the restroom, and then we'll pop back on and go up there, and then figure out what we're going to do the rest of the time. Okay? Yeah. That's okay, I have to go too. And there's more stalls this time, so we can all go. The girls, anyway, can all go. There's enough stalls for us. So now I mentioned about Lake Bennett and Lake Lindeman. This is the Nares Lake. This lake right here is the way they they started going up the gold fields. The Stampeders back in 1897. This is the way they started. Now when they got here, I think I mentioned that the lakes were frozen. This was no exception. The Yukon was no exception. And the Klondike was no exception. So the winter of 97, and then it thawed out in May of 98. And once it thawed out, everybody in the thousands took, oh, we've got a fox.
Oh.
Look here, right here.
Oh, right. Oh no.
Come on, little
Come on,
baby.
come on.
Come on, little baby.
Just not a care in the world. Oh, that's only the shopping pose for you.
Wow. They're bigger than ours.
Where's he at? Is he going to go up the hill? There he goes.
Minding his own business.
Okay, I'll come back here. Let's take. Yeah, this isn't very good. This is like, yeah.
What are y'all looking at? I'm just trying to find a restroom.
Privacy, please.
That's a pretty fox. He's beautiful. Or
Yeah.
she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
They are area, they're nocturnal mostly, so when you see them during the day, you want to stay away because they're often rabid.
Right. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he doesn't look bad at all.
Mm-mm.
Well, they get the mange.
Yeah, he doesn't have that either.
Yeah,
He's looking
exactly.
really good.
He's like coat ready.
Yeah, he's beautiful. He's, would you say code ready?
Stole ready, coat ready.
Stole ready?
Yeah.
Um,
Good thing that's frowned upon these days. There's days.
I think he's going to be good for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad. Well, look at us. We saw, and I haven't seen a fox all season
Oh,
long.
he was
so-
gorgeous.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, he's beautiful. And see, now I gave them something to look at
Now we get
this
to play
time
chicken with the
instead of the
condoms.
mushrooms. Because they're all stopping. So yeah, so in 97 or 98, once everything thawed out, they were just going in the thousands to get up there. And by that time, mostly everything was staked and pretty much not completely over, but not far from being over. Well, it couldn't last long, unfortunately. A lot of hardships to go up and for not for some people. Sometimes there's bald eagles around. I don't see one today. They're on poles. They too are building a new bridge. This is the last day for the bus this season, so we won't have to wash it. Of course, it didn't get washed yesterday. Can't hire good help these days.
Guess get late in the season, people start bugging out on you.
No, he actually is Dave's partner, but he didn't want to wash it apparently.
Can't open the Yelp review.
At least your windows were clean, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Oh, here's the visitor center,
I guess that's what the main.
but we're not going to do any of that stuff quite yet.
All
Just
right.
using the art house is where your restrooms will be, okay?
But where's the place you can stamp your passport?
That will be the visitor center, so that'll be when we come back, okay?
Fun.
So this is a potty break.
Alright.
Only, my friend.
I got it. More or less.
When we come back, the Motherlode Jewelry, Tanya, she does really pretty jewelry. She's a local gal.
Can you see yourself?
Oops. And there might be a line because all of these big buses. And it's interesting because these big buses have bathrooms. Go ahead. I'm not letting y'all go by the way. They all have bathrooms in their buses. Why are they here? Explain that one
Have
for
you
me.
been in one of those bathrooms?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still a bathroom.
Okay.
Going on a plane.
Well, the driver doesn't want to clean it afterwards.
And I have
so
been.
he tells them not to use
Oh, do they really?
it. I've been on a bus where, they have told you not to use it.
It's whiskey.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's so good.
So it's whiskey? Or
Whiskey, no, what it
Or is it
is
maple
it's maple syrup, but they put it in a whiskey barrel, so
Oh, it's
fermented
tasty.
from
Yeah.
the. Mhm. And they have butter too. I don't know how much they have of that left. But,
Well,
yeah, and he'll tell you all about it too. So go
well,
in
we're
there.
from in
And
Montreal. In Quebec, they have something called the maple syrup mafia. It's actually
maple syrup, what?
mafia.
That's what I
There's
thought.
a syndicate. There's a maple syrup syndicate of all the growers. And if you look on Netflix, there's a video. One of the largest robberies of all time in Canada happened. It was a maple syrup theft.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
They robbed a warehouse
Get out of
of barrels and barrels because maple syrup is far more expensive than oil per barrel. So if you're doing like a 45 gallon barrel of oil, yeah, and they did it over time. So they would take the maple syrup and they'd replace it with barrels of water. So they didn't realize they had an
here.
inventory
Didn't have it.
problem.
That's pretty
And
clever.
It was crazy amount of
Wow,
money.
that is
I think
aw-
we used
really?
Niagara Falls, we heard something
Stealing
about that.
maple
Yeah.
syrup. I don't even like maple syrup.
Oh,
Only in Canada.
you gotta try the Quebec maple syrup. And then
Yeah, well, yeah.
And the French voyageurs years ago, they started a thing where they do these when the maple trees are running, they have these big festivals, parties.
Okay.
They used to always have these big parties. So now they continue the tradition with, I don't know what they call it. Yeah, they call it cabane au sucre, which is French for sugar shack.
Okay, sure.
We call it sugaring off, sugar shack, but you go to the cabane au sucre and you get, they take maple syrup, they pour it on snow. They have this big trough of fresh snow. They pour it on the snow and it starts to congeal. And you take a stick and you wrap it around it and eat it.
Suck on it.
Oh, it's so good.
That would be
And,
cool.
and then they have
Yeah.
these huge buffets with all kinds of, all kinds of food to eat.
Anything that you put syrup on.
And even things you wouldn't think to put maple syrup on, they do.
I like maple syrup and bacon.
There's one.
I mean, who doesn't?
And then they have
right?
these things called les oreilles de Christ. Which
what?
is les oreilles de Christ, which is
Okay.
French for Christ's ears.
Okay.
But it's really pig's ears.
Oh,
Or pork rinds.
Pork rinds.
Yeah.
It's pork
With
skin
maple
fried.
syrup on it?
Probably.
No.
I wouldn't. I don't really
Everything's
like pork
better
rinds.
with
No.
So.
Everything's better with bacon, not maple syrup.
As a kid, I used to like dipping my toast in it. That was
I
good.
got me a little bottle of that maple syrup in over in Canada.
Here in Carcross?
No, in
Oh,
Canada.
okay.
And Niagara Falls.
Oh.
And I mean, for a little bitty bottle of, I mean, it was like $8 or $10 for it. I mean, it's expensive.
The trick there is you go into a supermarket. If you're in the, yeah, now you look at the can, make sure it's grown in Quebec.
Cronin.
Yeah, so you look to see where the harvest was in Quebec, and you should pay around what's $7 for a half liter. So a half liter is about 16 ounces.
Canadian dollar or U.S. dollar?
Canadian $8, so that's six and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 1.33 or something right now.
You can't eat the log cabin maple syrup anymore.
Oh.
Well, not after you've had that. Of course not. Jeez. Of course, I don't do log cabin anyway, but
See, when I need to get my maple syrup fix, we drive 66 miles to the BC border and go into Soyos.
and where do you live, Matthew?
I live in north central Washington.
North Circuit. So you go Plain that way, or north central? No, Colville.
West of Colville, more the Okanagan.
Oh, okay.
So we just go up to Orville, Washington, cross the border to Osoyoos, BC, and go from there.
Oh, gotcha. Well, here it is, the smallest desert in the world.
Woo!
It's 1 square mile, 640
Holy
acres
cow.
to be exact, and it's sand dunes, to be honest with you. But 10,000, 14,000 years ago, the last ice age, this was the silt from the bottom of a glacier lake.
because I got it without any trees, so she can say you're standing in the middle of a desert.
I went to Alaska, went to
Neat.
the desert.
That's funny. I like it. That's funny.
Yep, the desert.
That's pretty
It's pretty odd, isn't it? So it's the bottom of a glacier lake, the silt, of course, but the sand dunes are created from the wind that comes through here from Lake Bennett, which is to our left, and Watson Lake, which is off to the east a little bit. So the circulation of the wind will create the sand dunes. So they can change. They're not always going to be just like that.
I think I saw in that Ken Burns video that Lake Bennett, that was a big lake too for the
Lake
Klondike
Bennett,
gold rushers.
It's 26 miles long, that Lake Bennett.
Isn't that like a main thoroughfare for them? They get on there.
Yep,
and go in?
that it was, absolutely. So Lindeman and that lake was, yes, that's where it started before they got to the Nares Lake. Yep. Yep.
So they had 30 or 40 miles just to get to the water, and they still had 400 or 500 to get to Dawson City.
Yes.
Those were some tough buggers once a day.
Yeah.
And these guys, men and women, were inexperienced, no matter whether they were hiking or, traveling the land or going over the waterway. They'd never done, they call desk workers or office workers, people that, didn't have calluses on their hands or anything. And so here they are needing to go up there to make a living for their families back home. And they had no clue what they were getting themselves into.
Well, and you got to think about it. A lot of them came from the Midwest or East Coast, so they had to come all the way to Seattle, then take the boat up to Skagway, and then do the journey.
They came from all over, and that's exactly what they did. It was not just Americans; it was Europeans. Everybody came up here for the gold rush. But yeah, that's exactly what they had to do: is get on the steamship, and then that's 1,000 miles. So that's one reason why it wasn't successful for a lot of people, because it took them too long to get there. Because people that live around here, they heard about it, so they're there. I mean, lickety split. These guys, it took them eight months to a year to get up here. By that time, wasn't much left for them. Some of them would either lease some of the mine from somebody else, or the claim from somebody else, or they'd work for somebody. So, yeah, it's just, and then going through the waterways, there were rapids. There were 3 different sets of rapids they had to go through. And these guys were inexperienced, period, for all of it. But they didn't know how to build a vessel, so they hired people to help them. The Canadians helped them, the Plinkets and First Nation folks helped them to get them to go through the water. And then once they did, some of the boats didn't make it because they didn't know how to maneuver them through the rapids. So the Canadian government got involved to kind of guide them along, as well as the other folks too. And then they numbered each one of those vessels as well, so that if anything did happen, they knew who it was.
They never started out.
Exactly, yeah. But I read that, about of the 7,000, over 7,000 boats that were built to get along the waterways, 150 of them crashed up going through the rapids, and only 10 men drowned. So again, a really small number, considering the inexperience of these people. So government, fortunately, they knew what they were doing. We kind of talked bad about some things, but the Canadian government required that the 1 ton of provisions, which was basically a year's worth of provisions. There was a reason for that, because it would take them up to a year to get there. And then they numbered the boats and helped them navigate to get through. So they really wanted it to be successful, because it would have behooved them for that. Yeah, it's
Like one book in particular that you thought was
on the right. She's going up the hill. See that opening right there? There she is going up the hill. See it? Black spot? It's actually a brown bear, but there she is.
Oh, brown bear?
Yep. Well, not a grizzly, but a brown black brown.
Oh yeah, okay, sure.
There she is.
Can you pop the door so I can
Yep.
zoom? Thank you.
Yep. Don't go too far though, please.
No, no.
I'm just gonna run up to it. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Shockingly good. It
Through the
really
rhinos?
downside,
Yeah.
It looks like you're gonna shoot it. So it's good there's no crosshairs.
Oh, when I
in your
said
picture.
shoot.
No, you know, get the round circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking through a rifle.
Spot and scope.
Mhm.
There you go. I'm off the hook. Found us a bear.
Good eye, though. You're trying to spot it.
Oh, geez, let's close the door. I meant to do that.
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah. I don't have any room to pull over on this spot. It's more of a shoulder up there. Oh, we can see if she's still there.
There's a black bear up there.
Well, there's Emerald Lake. In case anybody cares.
Wow.
Oh, by the way.
There's the lake.
I spotted it and I'm like, wow, we see the bear at Emerald Lake.
Good job. I forgot about the left side.
Yeah.
So excited to see a bear. And not just a chintzy black bear, but a brown bear, right?
Well, no, it's still a black bear,
That's black.
but it's the brown color.
Well, I'm going to call it a brown bear because that's just
It doesn't have the hump.
We have lots of black bears in the Northeast, but no brown
Today-
bears.
It's a dark bear.
So pretty today.
Oh, by the way, there's Emerald Lake.
Yeah. So cool.